This might be one of the most interesting races we ever had in Gran Turismo 7, Daily Race C at Le Mans. This time, it's featured with variable weather and full day cycle, which made this race incredible. I prepared 2 races to show you, and they are probably the best highlights of this week. But I'm going to keep my eyes on the radar. I might be lucky, I might not. Oh man, it all depends now. And it was a really difficult decision to choose which compound to start on. But in this case, I really didn't see any rain. So I went with the mediums. I thought it was going to be the best possible option. So the important thing was just to keep the eyes on the radar and, of course, try not to get a penalty early on. Because the slipstream is so powerful, and if you lose it, well, it's game over. But I think the most important thing here is not to get a penalty. Yeah. I think I'll have to pit for interest. Okay, I think I'll have to pit for interest. Wow. Well, I think this is actually going to be a pretty interesting race. And at this point, it was all about staying in it though, because there really was not much else to do. The important part was not losing the slipstream, and since I had a slightly faster car down the straight, the Nissan, it was not too difficult to keep up with the guys up ahead. There was some bomb drafting because, well, that's what it's needed in this race, but you can't really do it too much or you risk losing a lot of your safety rating. The goal was actually quite simple, just stay in touch with the other guys, but since this was such a close race, it was actually very easy to misjudge your braking curve. Missed the gear. No, not. Oh, yeah. This will be an interesting race. I'm thinking about staying out. Whoa. Yeah, definitely staying out. What? They missed their gear shifts or what happened? Yeah, Consta is now away. And just like that, I managed to get 2 places, which actually felt really good. But the downside was that Consta was already well ahead of us. Then came the beautiful day-to-night transition. But in my opinion, it's a little bit too fast. It's just a little bit too quick for your eyes to adapt. But it takes a bit of time. Still, it is quite nice, but it's also quite challenging. And with a couple of bump drafts on the straight, and since my car was actually a lot quicker on the straight than Consta's, I was able to close in on that 4th place and get back into the fight. Still, my eyes kind of struggled to adapt to the night. So once again, I really started thinking about the strategy. I don't know. If Consta pits, I'm pitting. Whoop. One gone. Maybe I should risk it, but it's really not that much rain to risk it all. Okay, that's another place. I need to raise my exposure here. Is he pitting? No. There simply was not enough rain on the track to pit and risk everything. I saw some showers approaching, but in the end, the rain completely avoided the circuit. If I had gone for the intermediates, my strategy would have been ruined and I would have been painfully slow, to be honest with you. So I think I made the right call by staying out, even though it was very tempting to gamble this one. You can always take the chance, but it's not always the smart move. Once again, my car was a lot quicker down the street, so I was able to close the gap. By lap 4, I was right behind the leading 2, and with so much straight line speed, it was almost impossible not to go for the overtake. Now I'm 6 tenths up on the previous best time. Yeah. Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's raining. What now? What now? Ooh. It's raining. Yeah. Oh, no. Not good. This is not good. No, definitely not intermediates. Yeah, I'm running TCS just in case. No, it's going to be okay, I think. And it really was a tough decision to make, but I noticed the track starting to dry again. So I considered trying a slightly different approach. It was always difficult to know exactly what will happen, but sometimes it's just better to wait. I chose to go for an alternative approach because my tires were wearing down. So I went into the pits. Looking back, I think this was a really bad idea. I changed my tires. You just don't want to do it because the time loss is simply not worth it. So I had to make some moves now. Not intermediates, because now I'll do my mandatory stop. The track will start drying out and I will have a bit of advantage. Or at least that's what I think. Worth it or not worth it, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And I think this was definitely a wrong decision, but with a little help from behind, I actually started closing the gap to the leading pack. Since my tires were in a slightly better conditions, my main goal was actually just to avoid battling with other drivers and instead use the tow to my advantage by, well, actually sticking close to someone and, well, working as a team. As the morning broke, the race got just this beautiful atmosphere. But unfortunately, the time loss was simply too much for this strategy to work. Still, I knew I had strong straight line speed, so there was still something in this one, and I really tried to make the most out of it. I have a bit more top speed now. The gap is going down slightly. Who knows, it might actually be okay. Now I'm trying to get onto the podium. Okay, Rory has a penalty, so that's a place for me. That's a place for me. There's definitely a place for me there. Just the question is if I'm going to be able to get closer to Calster now. Okay, gaining now. Okay. You moved. The gap is 5.5, but I think I'm going to be in 4th place after that. What a race, actually. What a race. I mean, I finished in 4th place. Considering all of the circumstances and all of the mistakes that I've done, it's definitely not bad. But I think PD just gave us a race that we all wanted for like a very, very long time. And of course, you can let me know what you think about this race down in the comments, because I honestly think it was a pretty good one. And if you don't mind, consider hitting the like button, maybe even subscribing to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And now, this race felt like a true gem. I just wasn't sure about the strategy or how it would actually play out in the end. So I chose to start on the medium tires, even though it was raining right at the beginning of this race. And to be fair, I really had no idea what to expect. But let's make this bad decision even worse. Maybe this is going to be my worst race overall. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, I tried to avoid him. Is he on the intermediates, maybe? I tried to avoid him. And he is on the intermediates. What the hell? Don't. Yeah. I think I lost all of the advantage that I potentially could have had. Well, I think mediums might have actually been a good call. Maybe. And at this point, it felt like a pretty decent call, because the strategy was looking quite okay. The track was completely dry, and in these conditions, if you switch to the intermediates too early or even start in the intermediates, they will wear out quickly and you can't get any performance out of them later in the race. So I believe this was the right decision, just to stay out and I guess wait until rain starts coming down. Well, unfortunately, I think they're going to beat me now. Oh, well, I think I will have a pretty rough time now. Rain is here. Yeah, the rain is definitely here. But I stay out for one more, maybe. Now it was time to make a decision. I had to guess what was going to happen as the track conditions kept getting worse. It was definitely a gamble. And what can I even say? You never really know what to expect out of these conditions. It could be better, it could be worse. But it was a gamble. I chose to get into the pits and change my tires to the intermediates. Mediums. Intermediates, but I think the other guys that started on the intermediates went with a lot better strategy, because I think I'll have to pit twice. Okay, this is definitely for the intermediates now, but their intermediates will be in much worse shape, so who knows now? I really have no idea what's going to happen. No one really knows. Yellows. Oh, someone's spinning out just in front of me. Just like that, it was actually a pretty good call. And there is also this little trick that you can do in the race, which is adjusting the temporary exposure to get slightly better vision at night. I know, it's in the game, so if you want to try it, it only takes a couple of seconds and you can do it on the straight. And we actually started working as a group, and we are now closing the gap to the leader, which is definitely a positive sign. What? Okay, we got some spray again. Oh, that's a lot. What did he do to get a 6-second penalty? Off the track. Ooh, big one. That was a big one. Just like that, I gained a couple of places, even though Niklas was still well ahead of me. And unfortunately, I even picked up a penalty along the way. The good news was that the track conditions started to work in my favor. For all of us that started on the mediums, things were actually looking quite promising. We had slightly better tires since we did not destroy them in the first lap, and now the improving conditions gave us the advantage that we needed. Even though I was alone, the gap kept dropping more and more, and I just settled into my own pace, did not push too hard, and eventually I had to serve that penalty that I just got. But I was still closing in, which was actually quite surprising. A few drivers chose to pit and gamble on a fresh set of intermediates, which now I think it was actually a better option than staying out and waiting not to change your tires. But my tires were already a little bit more worn out than what I would actually like. Still, at the end, I think it was actually looking pretty good. I mean, my tires will be dead, but I don't think I can lose 15 seconds in one lap. Especially not on the straight. Like on the straight, it's the same. And once again, we got that beautiful night to day transition. And just like I mentioned earlier, it was almost impossible to lose that much time because basically we are on the straight and nothing really happens on the straight. Then the last couple of drivers pitted, which moved me up into second place. And by that point, my tires were already in a really bad shape. But there wasn't really much that could have happened to me. I even picked up another penalty, but serving it did not make any kind of difference. So I just focused on driving the car cleanly and brought it home in second place. My tires are done, but so am I. The end. Second place. And I have to say that this worked out really well for me.